All right, happy Sunday. All right, everybody Gucci, everything looks good. Previously on Kimba TV. That's why it reacted like this, because there's nothing here. You either hold this range, retail arena, or you're gonna go back to the next volume. You see volume? There's nothing here. Vero Rodin says, did I miss anything? No, not really. It's the same thing as yesterday. Do you remember when we said the two levels to look for is this level and that level? Schwiggity. It's literally just a continuation of yesterday. So think about all the stuff that I talked about and asked you guys to think about. It's actually in play, pixel perfect, right now. Do you believe? All right, let's.
I said, are you strong? They said, I'm strong if you strong. I said, we strong.
Let's go ISO XO, yeah? Should we go ISO XO? Snooze through. So what I want you to do is, instead of just, like, the worst thing that you could do, Snoo, is you just take my answer and you don't actually check yourself. That's the first thing, okay? The real answer with that is you need to see it for yourself. Anything in crypto, you need to see it for yourself. Don't just take whatever other people tell you at face value. Okay, Snoo? What I want you to do is I want you to put it on time-based candles, whether it's 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, whatever you want. Do time-based candles, okay? And then see how many CVD divergences you see with time-based candles and see how many of those CVD divergences actually play out, okay? I want you to do that for 1,000 divergences. Okay, then what I want you to do is keep track of volume-based candles and see the CVD divergences and keep track of which ones play out. You're gonna notice that by about twice as much, the volume-based candle CVD divergences will play out more than a time-based. Okay, CVD stands for cumulative volume data. They are volume-based they're volume-based data, pivot points. So it might be better to associate with volume. Instead of having a new candle every 30 minutes, every 1 hour, every 4 hour, every 5 minutes, it's sometimes better to organize it by every $10 million, every $20 million, every $40 million. That alone should give you, with common sense, tell you that that divergence that shows up might be better than pivoting off of time. Okay? But it comes down to pattern recognition. At some point, snooze through, if the time-based CVD divergences are a lot more reliable, then I'm gonna go back to time-based CVD divergences. It's about recognizing the pattern and going with it. So as soon as I realize that CVD divergences based off of volume-based candles are a lot better, I'm going with it until it ends. The trend is my friend until it ends. People apply that to price action. I actually apply it to oscillating data. Sounds good, but don't take my word for it, Snoo. I want you to see it. I want you to see it for yourself. So do one where it's time-based, do one where it's volume-based, and see which CVD divergences play out and actually hold. And whether it's CVD on Bybit, whether it's CVD on volume-based candles, whether it's CVD for the USD inverse perpetuals, you're gonna have to look at everything and pick out the pattern. So later on, if I realize that time-based candles for Binance BTC USDT is better, right? That's what this is, right? Time-based CVD for Binance USDT. If I notice that this is a lot better to watch, then I'm going to watch this instead. It's your responsibility to notice and pick up on the patterns, right? So does that answer your question? There you go. Yep. But you never want to be the guy to be like, oh, I thought you said that we're supposed to be watching CVD on the BTC USD on volume based. No, I didn't. I said, find the pattern yourself. That's the difference between the guy that actually does what I said and is able to take care of himself in the future, and the guy that, you know, gets mad at me and is like, why are you looking at the time-based Binance? You told me to look at CVD on volume-based candles. No, I didn't. I said, find the pattern. Whatever the pattern is what you go with. It just so happens to be that this is the pattern right now. Living Forest says, what probability is that we collect the single print below before we go up? I mean, is more likely or not? Because I'm wondering how can I prepare for that based off of, yeah. So Living Forest, I talked about this a couple of times throughout the week. Maybe you missed it, but you're asking the wrong question. Does it really matter what the probability is, even if it's low, on whether or not you should be prepared or not? Talking about is it high probability, low probability is useful when you want to figure out how much of a position size you want. But aside from how much you want to risk, the probability of it happening or not really doesn't matter. We're not in the business of trying to predict the future. The other thing that I said that other books will cover too, Living Forest, is you don't want to tie your value or competency as a trader to whether or not you're right or wrong. It's if you're prepared and if you can manage risk. So we could sit here and talk about what's the probability, but one, we don't know if we're ever going to be truly right or wrong. I might say, hey, for me, a hidden divergence with a smaller regular divergence is worth a plus 4% on my probability of success, but who knows if that 4% is actually right. For somebody else, it might be 8. So probability, I think, is subjective, but you only start asking questions like that after you're completely ready to go. And then honestly, it would be more about understanding. So it would be like this. Instead of what's the probability that we can go back down here and grab this, instead of that, are you going to be able to read this to see if it's bullish or bearish? Are you going to be able to know if you should long this, or maybe you're going to be looking for a bearish retest to short it? So it doesn't really matter too much what the probability is. The other thing too is you don't have CME and you don't have traditional markets. So even if you were able to concoct a probability, I think you would just be like, it's like a broken clock being right type of thing. So who really knows if you're doing it right? Alrighty, but identify the level, anticipate edge. There's nothing where I talk about try to put together like guess what you think is higher or lower. You know, at the end of the day, you can guess or you can front run or you can anticipate, but the data is ultimately going to tell you. So what is going to tell you if it's, instead of guessing, is it high probability or low probability it's going to go down there? I'm more concerned about reading this and trying to figure out if it's high probability or low probability that we'll do this based off of this. But I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out if it's high probability or low probability if we're going to get here. I rather figure out based off of this if it's high probability that we're going to do this or not. So identify level and then read the data as you approach that level and you react at that level. Sounds good, Living Forest? Because you know what would be funny is, I knew it was going to go down there, but then you have no idea what to do here. You have no idea what's going on right here. That's what a lot of retail people will do. I knew it was going to go down there. Okay, but you just missed your long. If you're in a short, you had the opportunity to short the single print. So either you got stopped out or maybe you still have it running. I don't know. So that's this. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, I knew it was gonna go down there. Oh, I knew it was gonna go down there. But that dumbass missed the long. Think about everybody that was like, oh, I knew it was gonna go. Remember how on this pump, I was like, guys, there's gonna be a golden pocket pullback. I'm not celebrating the golden pocket pullback. Some people are like, oh, I knew it was going to go down there. I knew it was going to go down there, but I'm trying to figure out if I should long this bitch or if I need to close my long. How many of y'all remember when we were pumping and I said, hey, watch out for the golden pocket pullback? I'm not the guy that's popping bottles and happy about this. I'm trying to see the whole picture. Imagine being the guy that's happy about shorting here, shorting this move, but completely miss this. You stupid. What are you doing? And worse yet is being the guy that shorted this down to here, missed the long, but doesn't want to learn how to get better. And so he's going to miss the long every single time. Oh, it's all good. I got that short. Fuck it. Whatever. Okay, you're gonna miss the long the next 100 times too until you figure it out. So there is no right or wrong. The only person that really gets impacted on whether you're actually learning or not is yourself, right? But yeah, so just manage risk. And that's it. But there is no, especially a couple of hours before CME and traditional markets open, to be able to deduce like a probability if it's going to go grab that single print or not. Like we all see it, but based off of this, that's you grabbing your single print. Right? So this is the RSI right here. I don't think that's going to be a div. I don't know if it's going to be able to do a little like that and then end up like that, upward. Start pre-anticipating. But you have, from yesterday's TA, you have a long opportunity and you have a short opportunity. So on this move up, what did the open interest do? On this move down, what did the open interest do? So just based off of Fibonacci understanding, harmonics and open interest, it bounced off of the 7.5. Okay, so if it's going to be bullish, you're going to break the golden pocket. It's trying to do that right now. And you would eventually turn that into support, which would allow you to make higher highs. We already talked about the probability of grabbing the second one if the open interest is like this. So let's just watch the 5-minute. Sounds good? And then I'm looking at this. So from 72,000, right? Basically this big drop from the 72,000. From 72,000, you had 32 million in longs close and 39 million in shorts open. If the price goes down and the open interest is going up, what does that mean? It's truly bearish. However, price went down, open interest was pretty neutral. Some closed, some open, some closed. It's not decisively bearish. So I have no reason to close anything. I'm going to keep the head short, the long open, and we're going to see what these levels bring upon us. How many people in longs from down there right now? Or how many people in longs from this or here? How many people in shorts from the single print? How many people at both? Living Forest, really, that probably would have been the right thing to do because it's inconclusive and it's hard to figure out. We go on the smaller time frame, the two levels are here and here. And we talked about if you are somebody that's going to be shorting here, shorting here, shorting here. So it's all there. And then we got a Latuche up. Everybody, I want you to Latuche. It might be 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We are all on Liquidation time. Let's Latuche up. Let's go. My pleasure, Danzo. Papato, let's go. Antillum says, love these weekend streams. I'm glad that you love them, Antillum. And throughout this month, we're going to make it schwiggity schwiggity. And what I mean by that is I'm going to be putting out a bunch of cool new shit like this. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I wish I had the video on here. Okay, no, we're going to do it this way. All right, so outro video. Here we go. Man, who the fuck typed in exclamation, let us pray or whatever?
Let's get it, Kimball.
Because it sounded like the lion was like, ha, ha, ha. All right, you guys know what it is. Stay safe, you guys. Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss. Tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss, Sato. He said he's gonna smack the shit out of you. Hey, stay safe now. The juice is the juice. Single prints, Fibonacci, CVD, open interest, RSI, S&P Boo Gammas. Do your best, Lions. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yes? Have a great night, Lions. Peace, everybody.